for relieving anxiety for intuitive, empathic people. Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about tools to relieve anxiety. First tool, number one. Are you experiencing anxiety because of your ego, or are you receiving anxiety because you're receiving a genuine sign or symbol to stop or change directions in your life? So we can receive anxiety from both. It can come from an artificial force, and it can come from a genuine force from spirit that's telling you to change your direction in life. How do you tell the difference between the two? So I'd say that's the first tool I'm going to share with you on how to deal with anxiety, is to determine if it's coming from a genuine source. So most of our anxiety comes from artificial sources, I would say. We follow social media and we think mentally we need to be in a certain place that other people are at on their social media. We need to be more successful, or we need to be having more fun, or we need to be in a relationship, or whatever it is. Those examples we see on social media, we think we need something like from life. And the truth is, we really have what we need. We come to the planet with everything inside of us that we need. So we don't have to really do anything. We manifest what we choose to manifest because it comes from our joyful heart. But we're not obligated to do anything for approval. But we think that we are, right? And so when we're coming from that place that we need approval from other people and we need to fit in, that generates a lot of anxiety right there from that perspective. And so how to alleviate that anxiety is to realize that our lives are worthy of being lived, regardless of how much wealth or social connections or romance we have in our life, that we all have a genuine mission and purpose. And the way that it outpictures is very secondary. You know, if we have the means to do certain things with our lives that really resonate with our heart, then that's amazing. Do them. But don't feel obligated like you have to do something just because someone else is doing it on social media. And so our anxiety can come from our negative thinking, our own ruminating thoughts. So our internal thoughts can actually generate these negative emotions and anxiety. And how do we know it's our thoughts versus an genuine intuitive hit that's telling us to change directions? Well, our ruminating thoughts are things we think over and over again. Like, I'm not good enough. Like, I'll be good enough when I fit into a size 6 dress, or when I buy that house, or when I graduate from that degree. Then I'll be enough, and then I'll be good to live my life. And it's good to grow, it's good to achieve things in life, but when we have these constant targets that we're aiming towards and we don't feel like we're worthy, or we have self-esteem unless we achieve those targets, then we've missed the point really of goal setting, because once you get to that goal, you're going to feel like it's still not enough, and you're going to always be chasing the next goal. Goals should be encouraging us to grow. They shouldn't be provoking anxiety and lowering our self-esteem like we're not enough every time we achieve one. And so that is a source of anxiety as well, is that we have these internal expectations and we're really hard on ourselves trying to reach them. And we feel that we're not worthy when we don't reach them. And so we have to let that go as well. When we're having anxious thoughts like that, it's very important to realize that that's not true and it's not real. We are worthy and we are good enough just the way that we are, regardless of whatever possessions or degrees or relationships that we have. And so the next piece about what if you're receiving some genuine guidance to stop something or change directions on what you're doing. It's not just your negative ruminating thoughts. How do you know that it's time to change directions and it's time to do something different? I actually got this guidance recently. And I thought I was ruminating and I was paranoid for a while, and probably I was a little bit in my head thinking about things. But then I got a genuine sign and symbol to stop. So I was recently diagnosed with COVID, but I didn't know that. So before last week, I had tested for COVID and gotten a negative result. So I thought I was fine, but I had this niggling feeling inside my head, like, I'm not sure I'm feeling quite normal, like I'm more sleepy than usual. I have a bit of a sore throat, but I thought, like, I'm feeling mostly okay, mostly normal. It's probably just spring allergies. That's what I thought. So I kept going at my usual busy, rapid pace. And then what happened that was interesting was I started falling asleep at random times of the day that I don't normally fall asleep. Like, my body was forcing me to take a nap break. And then one of these times that it happened, I realized that it had happened and I felt so embarrassed. So I went to go see the doctor because I was wondering if I had some sort of problem, right? And then all it turned out to be actually was, indeed, I actually did have COVID. I thought I hadn't, but I tested too early. So I didn't get the right indication telling me that I did have COVID and I needed to rest and isolate. Having said that, the doctor clarified that for me and showed me that I actually did need to rest and that she ordered bed rest for me to get over COVID. And you can kind of still hear it in my voice too. It's still a little bit there. And I have been sleeping a lot. My body is definitely feeling a lot better. It's in the process of recuperating. And so that was a genuine guidance, like falling asleep at a random time. That's your body giving you guidance on your health and telling you, hey, maybe you do need to go see the doctor. Whereas your paranoid thoughts are like in your head, but your body's not necessarily manifesting anything. So that's the difference between having kind of like a paranoid, anxious thought and having a genuine guidance telling you to do something different, right? And so I think that's probably one of the biggest tools for anxiety is to determine the source. Are you feeling anxious about something that's real or something that's artificially constructed? Just a thought or a meme that's going on in society that isn't based in anything, right? There are a lot of these advertising memes. It's like you watch those TV shows where you see the celebrity homes or you see their bodies and you think you need to have a home like that or look like that. This is an artificially created concept that creates a lot of stress and anxiety for people. And it's completely unnecessary. There's no mandate that you have to be a size 6 or you have to have a millionaire mansion, right? I mean, if your heart genuinely resonates with that and you manifest that, then that's amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. Having said that, it's not a mandate that we all have to be like that, right? We all have our own heart and our own ways of manifesting our journey and our mission in life. And we don't have to become a mega celebrity in order to manifest our mission and help people in this world. But our society makes us think like that. It's like, oh, you don't have everything if you're not looking this way, or you're not good enough if you don't have a big house, you know? And then they prey on that. They get you to consume products to make you go after these things, right? And advertising based on your insecurity. Our society creates a lot of insecurity, so we chase after things that aren't really meant for us, right? But having said that, for some people, there are specific destinies that are meant for them. Some people are meant to be Olympic athletes and they have that inclination to train at 5 a.m. Some people are meant to become academic scholars and they've been brilliant in school from the time they were children and constantly have like a 99 percentile average, you know? And then there are others who are meant to be politicians. They've always gotten on their school boards and they've always been popular among the kids in a genuine way, and they're good at leading and directing people. And so some people have a genuine destiny to become a specific thing. The only trouble is that we see that reflected back to us through social media, or it used to be television back in the day, and then we think, I'm not like that. Therefore, I'm not good enough. I'm not successful enough. And that is a false narrative. That is a false story that we've made up. And it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress that we don't fit in because we haven't achieved X, Y, and Z in life. And the truth is, these stories are just really not true. They're made up by society to sell products, you know, and generate economic growth through our anxiety. And so there's no need for it, actually. We can all just realize that we're enough and that we have our own unique mission. And sometimes society doesn't want us to realize our own unique mission because that might mean saying, oh, I don't want to drink Coca-Cola anymore because it's full of sugar. And you go on the internet saying that, for example, right? Not that I'm particularly against Coca-Cola, but the sodas aren't super great for you, and that's like an easy one to pinpoint. There are other foods that it's like sometimes it's good for you and sometimes it's not. Like dairy is a big one. Some people really swear by it. Others don't consume it at all. And so it really depends on the person. But then there are other things like soda that seems to be not a great fit for most people, and yet it's so promoted by our society. And so our society doesn't always want us to wake up to these truths about what's good for us and what's not, because that goes against the economic development and growth of society. But the only way we can really develop and grow our society in the right direction is for all of us to wake up and realize what's actually good for us. What products should we be consuming? What relationships should we be pursuing? And another big one that society promotes for women, for example, is either hooking up or marriage. It's like one or the other, right? Both of those circumstances, so marriage can be good for women sometimes, depending if you've gotten the right partner, but this pressure to get married and have children, in general, the pressure, I would say, is not good for us, right? If you have that and you're very happy with that, then that's amazing. But the pressure for us to get into that is probably not healthy for us as women. And on the flip side, hooking up, also not healthy for us. So as women, we kind of have to define for ourselves through our own self-reflection what actually is healthy for us. What kinds of relationships do we need to manifest in order to have fulfilling lives? And only really we have the answers to that as women, and we need to decide that in spite of the pressure that we feel from society to conform one way or the other. I hope you enjoyed my lesson about anxiety and our need to conform and how it kind of haunts us and how to get over it and how to know you're feeling anxiety about something real, because sometimes we do get a genuine hit, a genuine anxiety over something real with our physical health or something real in our relationships. And I think the key to handle those is that we have to take into account what the signs and symbols of the universe are, and are they giving us a sense of surprise? Are they coming out of nowhere and interrupting our usual egoic thoughts? Because those are usually the genuine signs and symbols that we need to change something in our lives rather than continue in our same old routines. If it's our continual ruminating thoughts, then usually no, that's not genuine guidance. It is not something that's a real genuine concern that we need to worry about. Let me know what you ruminate about or what your worries are in life and what are you willing to let go of? And have you ever received genuine guidance to change something or go in a different direction in life? I'd be curious to see that too in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoyed my lesson today about anxiety and how to tell if it's coming from a real place or not. And I'd be happy to talk to you about this again in a future video that's coming up very soon. I hope you're all having an amazing week and take care. Bye now.